I've never seen anyone with white nipples.
I'm gonna Google that right now. White nipples. White nipples.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I regret that
Basically
instantly.
puffs.
Fuck that shite. White people were a
When he
mistake.
goes to edit this.
Ah, he'll be fine. Lads and ladies, welcome to the Decade Old Podcast, North Tip's most comfy podcast, and that is fact. I'm here today now, Ricky Travers, as your host, and to my left is Gloria Shannon,
Hello.
and to her left is Karen O'Sullivan,
Hi.
and to her right is Fitzy.
Hello.
So lads, how have you been?
Fine.
Good. He's so happy you called him Fitzy in that, Conor.
The fuck is Conor?
How are you feeling with your first hosting gig on the podcast, Richard?
I feel like this, as soon as the doctor slapped my hole, this was my role for life. I was born. The doctor handed me to my mum and said, "This lad is going to host a Decade Old Podcast someday, Mrs. Travers." And she says, "I know."
I'm not going to do any work during this. I swear, I'm giving you all the reins.
I gave you gin and juice, and this is how you were treating me back.
Yeah, but are you going to edit him out, or are you going to, like...
Oh
let
yeah,
it roll?
fuck.
No, I'll edit it the way I'll always edit, but I'm just saying this is Richard's show from now on, so if this is shit, it's Richard's
Yeah,
fault.
but you're still editing it, and you'll make me say horrible things like, "I think Coolville sucks."
I
Do you
never
think
put that
cool?
much effort into the editing.
No.
The only thing I do in the editing is edit out the bits where I sound stupid.
So you've never seen Scooby-Doo 2: Monsters Unleashed?
Yes, I have.
Then you should get the fuck it. Anyway, lads, that's enough small talk now for now. Today's films are from the second or third quarter of 2008.
Third
Well, I don't know,
quarter.
Richard.
It's
You
the
tell
host,
us.
you should know.
Is
Yeah,
no, but
Richard,
you
what
see,
is it?
like, no, but you see, these things are all just a social construct. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just an illusion of telling things.
Okay, tell us what the movies are.
The movies are Mamma Mia, Diarrhea, Ponyo, What a Show, Tropic Thunder, What a Blunder, and The Dark Knight, but not the one with the plane scene. And Karen, you picked Mamma Mia, so you give us the quick rundown of that.
I did. Mamma Mia is the feature film based on the musical, which is based around the music of ABBA. It pretty much tells a story about a girl who's about to get married but doesn't know who her father is, so she reads her mum's journal and realises she's got 3 potential fathers, so decides to invite all 3 of these random men to her wedding, and a bit of hijinks and comedy and a lot of singing ensues.
Now, Mamma Mia was a budget of $52 million US and
You're supposed to
made.
do that at the end of the show.
What?
Or at the end of the film.
Well,
Is it?
that's what you
No,
do.
no, this is
might
yours.
be his style.
This is my fucking show now. I have the keys to the show now. So yeah, Mamma Mia. The budget was $52 million. The box office was a number too big for me to even fucking... So big they made a sequel about 12 years later. So lads, tell us now. What did you all think of Diarrhea here?
I loved it. I loved it when it came out. I loved it when I went to see the musical in May in the West End. I loved Mamma Mia too. I think if you like ABBA, you're
Yeah,
gonna
like I was raised on ABBA. My dad loved ABBA, particularly the blonde.
gotta love Joe.
Go on, Joe, boy.
So yeah, we were raised on ABBA's music. I think Dad would be greatly disappointed if, like, you know, his children couldn't at least sing a couple of ABBA songs at a party.
I thought it was a mediocre film with some ABBA songs in it.
It's kind
And
of
not even the
supposed
one
to be
ABBA song that
mediocre
I
though.
like.
Watch the sequel. Waterloo's in the sequel. It's supposed to be a film that it's supposed to be chewing gum for the brain, whatever. It's not supposed to be thought provoking. It's just supposed to be sit there with some friends and have a laugh and just forget about everything and sing some ABBA songs, and there's a vague storyline that goes along with it. It's like when you watch porn, you're not actually watching it for the storyline, you're watching it to see tits or pussy or cock or whatever you want to see.
So you were watching this to see Pierce Brosnan's
You're
dog.
watching it to see a bit of silliness and to have a laugh and to listen to ABBA music in it told from an actual, combining all the songs into a story. You're not watching it to be like, oh my god, this is groundbreaking, or you know, this really made me think about my life.
Okay.
You have to admit the concept of this musical going back in the day was such a good concept. Like, there's not many artists that have such diversity in their songs that you could put anything regarding a storyline together.
Right. I think the word you're searching for is disposable, right?
Oh.
It's just a disposable bit of fun.
Oh.
I wouldn't
Oh.
say
It was a bit
disposable.
mean.
Oh.
Like,
Like
as Richard said, the amount of profit on this film, the amount of hype around it, shows you that it was very popular. It brought ABBA to another new generation, and a decade later, you'll have people in their 20s now still singing ABBA.
Is there any fear of ABBA ever dying? I mean,
I just want to understand what Gloria said. Now, maybe that's the wrong choice of words.
what Gloria sounds.
That's what you mean.
Gloria sounds like she's on the offensive because one person called it shite once again. So now she has to get in the offensive and say, it may not be the infinite jest.
I'm not on the defense, but it's not. It's meant to be a feel. When I say it's meant to be a feel good movie, it's not supposed to like make you rethink your life or anything. The way, you know, some movies you come out inspired or like, oh my god, that was so interesting, or Jesus, you know, think about things. Whereas this movie, it's just kind of fun. But I will say there's a great theme and storyline about friendship in this movie. I have thought of I have two very close girlfriends other than of course Karen here. One's my sister and one's my friend Kate. And that movie, it reminds me of the three of us when we're together and we're being silly, and there is a strong story about friendship in that movie.
Well, then surely it's more than just a bit of fluff, then, right? If it ignites.
Yeah, but it's
some
done
emotions
around
in
a bit of fluff, but
Here's the thing.
it speaks to me because I have a similar friendship to those girls have, but maybe not everyone has that similar.
If what you're saying, if I'm right and what you're saying is that it's a bit of fluff, then I only think something being a bit of fluff is like a minor criticism, because there can be good fluff and bad fluff, and I just don't think this is good fluff.
Yeah, but that's where I'm offended because I'm like, I love this movie.
Like I was raised by a single mother, so you can guess how much ABBA I've listened to in my lifetime, and like I'm fairly indifferent to them. What does that mean?
Does that mean a lot?
Oh come on now, Fitzy.
Well, I was raised by a mother with married to my dad, and I still listen to a fucking lot of ABBA.
And I was raised by like a happily married couple, and it was my dad who listened to most of the ABBA.
Yeah.
Your dad just wanted to boink the blonde one.
I don't know how much reference that holds. Just
No,
because mother was.
I was just
single.
getting onto the point. Okay, it implies obviously I've been listening to a lot of ABBA growing up, but like it never resonated with me. They're been grand. I'm like totally indifferent to ABBA. Don't love them. Don't hate them.
I'm sorry. I can't believe for a second that there isn't one single ABBA song that resonates with you. That you listen to the lyrics of that song and think, I have at some point in my life felt like that. I challenge you to go listen to all the ABBA songs and tell me there isn't one song that you can say I can relate to what the lyrics of that song are saying.
All my man's music, Phil Collins is the one that resonated with me more. I like Phil Collins way more than I like ABBA. Where's the Phil Collins musical? That's what I want.
There's an ABBA song or two that I like, but I don't know if it resonates with me.
I don't know.
I'm the one missing
You've never
out.
wanted money, money, money. You've never felt
can't
like the winner. You never felt like in a shitty situation where you're the loser and the winner's fucked off with it all and you're left in the shit pile.
I can't get into that song because I know it's written by millionaires.
How about the winner takes it all?
I don't know, what's that song about?
The winner taking it all.
The loser standing small.
That's one more line and we're getting done for copyright strike.
Having like Mamma Mia, like being attracted to someone that does absolutely no good for you and you know it, but you can't help it.
Can we talk about the daughter being a fucking psychopath?
Why? Okay.
I can kind of
It's
see it.
insane.
Second appearance by Amanda Seyfried on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Is she a psychopath
Yes.
because she invites...
Why is she reading about her mother boinking random lads? What kind of teenage daughter reads about and then ... Oh, mammy! You fair fucks here!
Honey, how we thrill.
Why? Like, it just weirds me out.
Honey. Well, I wouldn't care about knowing about my mum's sex life when she was younger.
Ooh, stop that.
But you're right, I probably wouldn't be reading her diary.
And then let's invite these three lads who
But
they've never spoken
It
to.
might be a different case. You knew who your dad was growing up. We all knew who our dads here was growing up.
But
maybe it might be a different story if you're just excited at the prospect. Rather, she's not excited at the prospect of the fact her mother had sex. She's excited at the prospect of this could be a potential dad.
That she now actually has names.
You know,
That
she has some information because she's just never been told anything her whole life.
why does she need it though? Like, she got on fine without her dad because,
But lots of, like, that's for none of us to say or judge on because we've all grown up with two parents in our lives. I mean, I don't know what I'd be like, but I know people that I've known who didn't know one parent or the other very well were always curious about that parent, always wanted to know, because it's kind of just everybody around you growing up has a mum and a dad.
If your man fucked off and never bothered to call, I wouldn't, like, why would you need him? Like, I wouldn't give a shit.
But she didn't know, from the storyline, she didn't know whether her dad fucked off or just didn't know about her or what. She knew nothing about her dad because Donna wouldn't tell her anything.
All that she knew was a one night stand and her mother never told her anything more. So
yeah.
And
she should watch Mamma Mia too, that'll tell her a lot.
It's probably James Bond since she went to so much rebound sex after James Bond dumped cocked her.
Her real dad is probably like, if the writers had to reveal it, it'd be Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, it would be James Bond.
Just
Who cannot fucking sing to save his life?
It's too much of a happy ending movie to like put it to make it one of the other two.
Lads, can we make fun of Pierce Brosnan singing?
Yeah, but then like you think like, you know, if it was one and the other two, that means like, you know,
there'd be no
Pierce Brosnan was the stepdad anyway because they ended up getting married at the end, and then one of the other two can have a biological child.
Like, this is Tom Cruise's accent.
Then maybe Harry, because he is gay, so he can't have biological children with a man. So
wait, who's gay?
Harry.
Which one's Harry again?
Harry Headbanger. Colin Firth, yeah.
He's gay. Then why did he point where?
How did you not get that in the movie at all?
Why did he
even
point?
reveals it. He's a bit like, you know, Donna, you were the first girl I ever loved. Actually, you were the last. And then
I didn't.
That wasn't a
and then
romantic.
he looks at the guy, the guy in Greece, and they have a little
and
dancing
even like when all the
naked in
women are all over him in Voulez-Vous and gimme, he's like. Ugh.
But does Judy Waters not get with him at the end or something?
No, that's Bill Anderson.
Bill Anderson.
Oh.
Well,
then there's the one with the scary nose not get with him.
No, she doesn't get with him.
Also, the movie.
She gets with the young fella and she sings, "Does your mother know that you're out?"
Oh, you're right. Yeah, the bartender lad.
Can we just return to something Richard said a while ago? Pierce Brosnan singing.
Yeah, it's fucking.
He's
scary.
not.
He's
He's
not
a
a singer.
What's with all the Pierce Brosnan fucking defenders out lately?
He's not a good singer, but it's.
Well, I still like him in that movie.
Yeah, he goes well with Donna.
Yeah, but if he can't.
I think the bad singing actually adds to it. Because in all fairness, bad dad singing in ABBA.
What kind of mental
also,
gymnastics is this?
How realistic is it that everybody can sing? It's
I think
not.
in a musical.
So they need it.
Yeah, it's a musical. Like, it should be at least serviceable singing.
This is why I don't like
in the
movie
West
musicals.
End show, the Pierce Brosnan character, well, he's not Pierce Brosnan, but the same guy, Sam, was an excellent singer.
Like, if he can't sing, maybe he shouldn't be singing here!
I think for the movie it was so comedic as well that having a bad singer just kind of helped add to that.
Mental gymnastics.
It's kind of
Plus, he was a big name, and that was part of the casting.
Okay.
They had Meryl Streep, Colin Firth, Pierce Brosnan, like they had big names in that movie. And that's
fucking retarded. He's a big name, so that excuses him from not singing.
No, I'm not saying it excuses. I agree
would
with
you prefer that they'd gotten the actor and got someone different to sing his part?
I would prefer that.
I prefer if they just hired a singer.
Someone who serves. A lot of actors can sing. Why do they need Pierce Brosnan?
Nobody that kind of just like clicked. I think most Mamma Mia fans come away and they don't care, because to be honest, maybe you two weren't. But when I watched that movie with Crystal and Siobhan, with Crystal and Kate, or with my mum and dad, we were all singing. Nobody knew who was a good singer or not in that, because we were all singing along to it.
But there's that one.
My dad, I saw this movie in the cinema when it came out with my dad. My dad before that, my dad, my mum, myself and my sister went to see this Mamma Mia film when it first came out. The last movie my dad saw in the cinema before that was Titanic.
Yeah.
The next
11
film,
years.
Yeah, the next film my dad saw in the cinema after Mamma Mia 1 was Mamma Mia 2.
Joe should have gone seen Blade Runner 2049.
So it clearly attracts an audience that never go to the cinema.
Just real quick on the topic of the actors before we move on. This is why I don't like movie musicals, because they cast famous actors and not people who can sing.
Yeah,
you know, like
that's a fair point.
I don't dislike music. Like I love Phantom of the Opera. I love the stage show, but like the movie, like Emmy Rossum singing was not good. Like
Jared Butler's a good singer.
No, he wasn't. It doesn't compare at all. And this is the exact same way. And you saw it live, so I'm assuming it must be a real
watching.
down, right?
Oh, like watching something live, I think will always be better. Why do we go and spend, even when we actually buy someone's album? Why do we not waste our money, but use our money to go and see them live? It's a different atmosphere. Something happens when there's a live performance in front of you. When I went to see it in the West End in London, it was the best show I've ever been to. It was so much fun. It was so funny. The singing was brilliant. The dancing, there was just something amazing about it. You felt like you were there in Greece with them, even though there wasn't the backdrop and everything like there is in the movie.
I'd imagine so, because you'd have somebody up there singing their fucking lungs out.
But
not Pierce Brosnan.
This was just meant to be to bring to a wider audience of maybe people who would never dream of going to the... I can't see your dad going to the West End.
No, Dad would never hop
watch
on a
a
plane
musical.
and go to see it.
Even if it was in Dublin, I can't see him going up to watch it. This is like to bring people into their living rooms and, you know, put it on at Christmas time type thing. It's just, like I said, it's just meant to be a bit of fun.
But that doesn't mean it has to be of lesser quality than the stage show.
But it's always going to be of lesser
not
quality
necessarily.
than the stage show.
I mean, I know what I said earlier, but there is one example I can think of. Like Little Shop of Horrors, the movie is way better than Little Shop of Horrors, the stage show.
Well, how do you know? Because you haven't seen every version of the stage show.
I've seen 2 versions of it.
Well, still, there could be like your local
I saw it on
U
West
Club
End.
could do something, and then you could see it on a fucking, like you said, the West End or something. Like what I went to see Mamma Mia, in 10 years' time, if I go again, it mightn't be as good. It might be a different cast and crew, and it might do it a different way, or it might be a different singer. So that's why the theatre is always going to be slightly different every time. It's part of the magic, but it could be bad. Whereas when you put on a movie, that's what you're getting no matter how many times you watch it.
I think they should have just taken away the crazy daughter and her mates from this film and made it about Meryl Streep, Julie Waters and her mate with the crazy nose, and Pierce Brosnan, Conor and the Swedish fellas, because the 3 of those had a good dynamic.
Yeah.
Like the 3 lads, they were just like, why are you here? Oh, I boinked this one 20 years ago, and they were like, oh yeah, that was a good shag. She was savage.
They had to fit the story around the songs. The whole point of Mamma Mia is to fit the story around these songs.
It's
you have to try and fit these particular songs. Like, lots of musical songs are written for the story. This was the other way around.
Yeah,
but this
the
is
songs are already written and well known, and you had to fit them around the characters and the story.
But that's not very hard. You could do that in any way. Money. She needs fucking money. You know,
it's a hackneyed contrived story to facilitate songs. Is basically what it is. But can I ask, what would you say the film connects with you on an emotional level? What would you think of the film if ABBA had never existed? Like, these were just original songs. Would you like it as much? Because I think it would make no goddamn sense. It would be weird.
I don't, because it's hard to imagine a world where I don't know ABBA songs and where I didn't grow up on it. Like, when I listened to ABBA, I remember family parties, I remember my nana, I remember singing in the car. Like, I have too much of an emotional connection to even contemplate that. I think I would still like the songs.
I think I
think I would still find the characters funny, but I don't know if I would like it as much as I do, because the reason that you go to see Mamma Mia in the first place is you like ABBA or you like their songs.
Yeah, I think you just need to be an ABBA fan. Like, I love the Daft Punk anime, which is a load of shite, but Daft Punk are in it, so I like it. So yeah, it's for ABBA fans.
And there's a lot of them out there.
A lot. About 615 million of them out there, according to box office
Well
results.
done, Richard. Nicely done.
What?
Well played.
Now stop getting jealous,
But
Conor.
that's the thing. All I could take away as a film, as somebody who's totally like whatever about ABBA, the old people, their three dynamics, the three women, the three outlets, they had really good dynamics, and I would have nearly liked it better if it was some other contrived story for them meeting up with the time they bind her or
Don't
time
worry,
they bunked
we're
whoever.
gonna watch Mamma Mia 2 tomorrow and you'll see it all.
Tomorrow, I'm not going to the fucking cinema tomorrow.
No, you're gonna
Gonna do what?
do a bit of dodgy stuff.
I don't think it'll be available to watch in good quality.
Well, yeah. Why would I want to watch a can rip or something? Even if I was to do that, which I never would. I don't pirate. I'm a good
You
boy.
there's a cinema in Nina. We'll just pop down there.
I just saw Krista. Oh yeah, actually, Mamma Mia 2. Here's the thing now. Here's a quick little funny story about this. Last week, I was going to bring my girlfriend to see that because she wants to go see that. And I looked up the sites of the Odeon and it said 5 o'clock. I went to Castle Troy Odeon. And the man's like, man, the last fucking Mamma Mia was at 2 o'clock and the next one's on at about 20 to 9. I was like, what? I looked it up on the website. Nope, I looked up the one for Waterford. So then we just went to go see Christopher Robin anyway, because that was on in an hour. And we both wanted to see Christopher Robin. And that's sound. And then for a student card, because my girl, she's a student card, we could get a popcorn and a Coke. And I said yes. And I presumed we were going to go get that in an hour when it was time to go see the fucking film. What do? She gives us the popcorn, so I'm holding around the popcorn and Coke like a wanker for an hour. I had to put it in the back seat of my car in the seatbelt.
Okay, fuck this. You're editing it.
Hmm?
You're editing it.
I'm editing me whole.
No, you have your awesome editor mug.
He went to the same film school that I did for a year.
Yeah, but it's like your
Yeah,
job.
well, lots of people went to the same school as Einstein. Doesn't mean they invent the fucking atom bomb.
Alright, so last
Invent it.
comments on Mamma Mia.
Not my fucking jam. I don't care about whatever.
It had a lot of ethnic stereotypes that annoyed me.
Oh, yeah.
It's a mediocre film with the kind of contrived plot to facilitate some ABBA songs.
Carol.
I enjoy this film. Like Flo said, it's a feel-good film. You put it on, you sing around. You don't actually pay a whole pile of attention to the film. When I watched it, I even watched the sing-along version. So in all fairness, we were doing more singing than watching the film. And like, you just kind of like you literally spend the next couple of hours just having ABBA songs stuck in your head. It's very effective.
Would this film do so well today now that people have Chromecast and they can just throw ABBA songs on YouTube or Spotify
They
into
had YouTube
TV?
playlists in 2008 as well.
Yeah, but they didn't have Chromecast or Spotify.
Oh, but clearly the sequel
But
looks to be doing
the
quite
songs
well.
are done in a slightly different way, and it gives you a story.
As in Pierce Brosnan sings them
well,
shit.
like if you like, one of my favorite songs of Mamma Mia is "Does Your Mother Know?"
And that's a completely different rendition
Yeah, it's
because they've
it's-
changed the gender.
But it's also even the tempo and all that is different. The ABBA song to the actual. Why are you making that face, Richard?
What
to the actual song in that ABBA do. So, and I prefer the Mamma Mia version.
That doesn't go anywhere, that whole subplot about your one from The Good Wife and...
It was literally
Bartender.
just for that song.
Yeah, see, that's it. It's just...
But like basically,
that just to
no. But wait, you do
facilitate
see
one
him
song.
flirting with her, and she's much older than him, and then she sings a song and basically tells him, you know, it's not going to go anywhere because he's too young. Like, does your mother know that you're out? And then that's it for. They're done. Like, it added a bit of comedy. But that's all it was for.
Fitz, you're going outside?
Yep.
Oh.
Right.
You can,
Fitzy's left the podcast,
you
lads.
can continue on.
Okay.
Alright, up next.
Up next is the film Ponyo, directed by Hayao Miyazaki, who was a mistake. And I picked this movie. And Ponyo is basically about Fujimoto, who's this kind of weird underwater fella who has a fuck ton of little tadpoley fish lads because he rode the ocean goddess lady. And one of them just kind of strives up to the land and finds this little kid who likes to play outside. They live on the coast somewhere in Japan. And basically that little tadpole thing bites his finger, bites his ham sandwich, gets a taste for human blood, gets a taste for ham, and just goes fucking mental for ham. Causes a tsunami for ham. and it is fucking amazing. This film is savage. The film budget was 3.4 billion yen, which is $34 million, and it made the US box office of $201.8 million, which is probably something fucking unmeasurable in yen. And like this film, like okay, it's Ghibli, but Ghibli always managed. I found like this is probably one of the best. The opening scene where nobody says nothing, and it's just your man working in his weird little lab, and you see the Ponyo tadpole go out. Like that's one of the best animated things I've seen in my life.
I found that one the most weirdest beginnings for a film.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
I was
It was
like,
very
what
pretty looking, I won't lie.
am I watching?
Not just pretty looking, like next level god tier 10 out of 10. Fucking
The
amazing.
way you described it, it sounded like it could have been like a Roland Emmerich blockbuster or something. It's got a taste for blood, it's got a taste for ham, and it's coming with this tsunami this summer.
I wish I said pig flesh instead of ham. But like it's so fucking beautiful and gorgeous. My God, like they always managed to top themselves. The water, the backgrounds, the everything in this, the characters, the way they look and act.
It's not nicer looking than what's it called? Fucking Spirited Away.
It is nicer than Spirited Away. I will say that now.
It's been a million years since I've seen it, but I remember thinking Spirited Away just kind of looked a bit arbitrary.
Arbitrary? How would
The world looked a bit arbitrary to me.
It
didn't seem to have any rhyme or reason.
The world was obviously a fucking Japanese whorehouse.
Well, what I mean is there was more to Spirited Away tonight in terms of art direction and stuff like that than this movie. I thought this movie was a lot more basic than that.
Well, yeah, I think that's why people were underwhelmed, and I was too, honestly. I wanted to watch this because I heard people like it better the second time, and yeah, I don't know, I've seen this like 8 years ago or something, I don't know, a long time ago. And Jesus, like I think it's just because like at this run Miyazaki had lots of action things with fucking Spirited Away and Howl's Castle and
Lupin the Third, that's another one.
Oh yeah, like and then he came out of retirement for the 80th time and he made this and it's fucking savage. And I know you two plebs watched the fucking dub.
I did. I wanted to find a sub because I do like watching films with subs.
I just found the first one that said something about saying it in English or having any sort of English association with it. But I found it the weirdest version of The Little Mermaid I have ever seen.
It is, but parts of it are actually probably one of the most accurate versions of The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, you know he was directly inspired by the Hans Christian.
Yeah. Well, obviously that's very clear.
There's a couple. My issues are the chicken leg thing. Like, why does she?
That looks cute.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it's weird when she's in her half.
It's not too bad when she's got like chicken legs, and she's got chicken hands and chicken legs. It's just a bit weird. And then my biggest issue was a 5-year-old is a 5-year-old and cannot actually say that he is going to love somebody unconditionally for the rest of his life. He's 5. He actually thinks the world revolves around him. He thinks that everybody in the world is there solely for him. Now, I know the character seemed a lot more mature than a 5-year-old, but that he's 5 and he also shouldn't have been left alone in a fucking rainstorm by himself.
No, I think the parenting in this is so wrong. It's like they get to the stage where don't go back to your house, woman. They're telling you not to cross this path that's dangerous. Yet you decide to drive your car through it anyway.
She knew she was gonna make it.
You don't know that. You're endangering your child and then you leave your child.
Hey, the child can swim, can't he? He can swim.
Wait a second now. She left her child.
And there was a longer route that she just could have gone around, which she ended up using later that day anyway. So why not take the safer route in the first place?
But the child can swim.
Not really.
That's no.
Also,
she left a child by himself to mind another child. And also, I thought it was pretty bad parenting when the dad rings up and is like, can't make it, and she's crying and throwing stuff around the place and stops cooking the dinner. And yes, you might be pissed off. If I had a kid and Aiden was like, oh, I'm not coming home, whatever, I'd be like, for fuck's sake. But I'd go into a different room and I'd ring Karen or Kate or Crystal or something and I'd bitch to them. I wouldn't do it in front of my child.
But some people might.
Yeah, well, it's bad.
It is bad, but I don't think the movie justifies it.
Well, the mother, I don't know.
It makes her she is unhinged from the start, kind of.
But I think it's presented as a fault that she has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I had a big issue with him being left on his own during the rainstorm, and then I had another big issue with the whole you must, I can't pronounce his name, but must
Sasuke.
must say that he, will love Ponyo unconditionally and all this kind of stuff and accept her for who she really is. Like, sorry, he's fucking 5.
I don't agree with you, Glo. That's my one gripe with the film is I just find the whole love thing about a 5-year-old to be a little bit hammy.
Creepy.
I got bored around the time they were cooking ramen.
What? No, that's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Ramen or that scene?
The ramen bit. I just said I agreed the love thing was just kind of a little bit kind of gacky like.
We were at what? That's like 2/3 into the movie, and we're at the eating ramen stage. I was like, oh man, this should be the part where things are happening.
Things were happening though. Like.
It doesn't happen. Things don't happen until the last 15 or 10 minutes.
I love the fact that Ponyo's a little shit and she spits water in everyone's faces and steals food. I find that hilarious.
Yeah, look, the art direction was nice, and it's generally nice, but and I like Miyazaki well enough, but I thought this was pretty disappointing, to be honest.
You need to watch it again.
Maybe I'll watch it in 10 years.
Do.
We'll do it again for the podcast.
I love the fucking really old cranky woman at the house. She reminded me so much of Miyazaki himself.
She reminds me of an old woman who used to live down the street from me called Betty Robb.
Was she just a cranky bollocks who was like, so daddy?
Yeah, well, we used to go trick-or-treating there. She'd tell us to go away.
Yeah, she but she was right, wasn't she? Those fishes come out of the water, there's a tsunami, and there was basically a tsunami, so...
The only one thing I didn't kind of like as well, but I kind of forgave it, was I found, like, Miyazaki's very fucking environmentalist, but I found in the beginning and even towards the end, all, like, the whole, like, pollution thing was a little bit too fucking shoved down our throats. Especially the fact that the sludge and shite and muck actually looks beautiful animated did not help derive his point saying that this is bad. He should have made it look disgusting. He made the sludge look gorgeous.
So why does Miyazaki hate anime fans?
Why? Because anime fans are fucking freaks. That's why. You know me.
Aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, aren't
Like,
you
we
an
love
anime fan?
anime fans. What do they love? They love tentacles. They love little girls. They like otakus. They're degenerate, but I don't know. I don't
Please
think.
tell me you don't like tentacles and little girls.
I like little girls with tentacles. I really like the fucking world he builds as well. Just a little small kind of coastal town, and everyone kind of knows each other. I like the fact you notice within like just the scenes of like the teacher saying like, "Oh, does Betsy have a cold?" and all this. I like that kind of subtle world building in this too. Like
The poor Fardo, he's really going to come back home and be a bit like, oh yeah, now we have a daughter as well. She was a fish. It's kind of a bit of revenge for like, you're not keeping in touch.
That's another thing I was a bit unsure about. Is the child supposed to love her unconditionally as his sister or as something else? And what was the mother talking to so long to the sea mother about, and why were they worried about her? And
I suppose like the sea mother is kind of a bit like, yeah, I'm kind of giving you a responsibility for raising my
how
daughter.
did Liam
like.
Neeson bite
yeah,
this?
but she didn't even know her daughter.
Yeah, but Ponyo's special because she's like a little bit human, and it's kind of left to thought, was she like human before? Because they're so special about it.
And will a 5-year-old love it? So you're 5, you meet a magical fairy, like I'm just going to give it, and then you're told, right, will you love this fairy forever? Oh my god, I'll totally love this fairy forever, because you're thinking they're magical and I'm 5, this is amazing. Ponyo has to lose her magic to become human. So is he really going to love her unconditionally?
Probably not. That was stupid. And I was trying to think
weird.
like, how could they work this? Could they like make and say love her like a sister, love her like family, love her like a friend? Like, I don't know why they had to be so.
And then she had to kiss a bubble and kiss the bubble, that kind of.
Well, the bubble thing was to make it more innocent, so they're not like two kids literally shifting the gowls off each other.
What you mean is you don't mean romantic love, right?
Well, that's what I'm confused as how like of any of it, because I think the only person a 5-year-old can love unconditionally is their parents.
But I agree,
Batman.
even if it's not romantic love, like a 5-year-old is not capable of making the emotional investment of quote unquote loving someone or something for the rest of the time.
Yeah, that like, especially if so Ponyo was able to make boats bigger. Like, I'm in the mind of a 5-year-old. Oh my god, this girl can change into a fish. She can make the water move. She can turn boats bigger. She can, fix the generator thing. he's thinking, oh my god, she's amazing.
Yeah, but she gives
part
up on
of
her
why
magic,
he thinks
though.
she's amazing is because of her magic. Because he's 5. He's not going to actually see much past that. Don't get me wrong, I thought it was a nice movie, but they are my issues with it. Like, you know, with the storyline, it's kind of like a 5-year-old is going to think that this Ponyo is beautiful and everything, but a lot of it because of her magic. And then she loses her magic to become human. She's just like him. She's just like the girls he goes to school with. What's going to make her Ponyo?
Ham.
Should I care about the mechanics of the world or something, or is it just Miyazaki and I should just be like, oh, whatever? Should I care about the... Because I'm just watching this movie and I'm going, oh, all those goldfish, okay, they can magically turn into massive fish, fine, whatever.
Well, I say when it's magic things, yeah, whatever. Like magic,
so
as long as it doesn't contradict.
They can only
Because-
turn into magic fish though because they had that
the potion kind of thing.
the potion spilled out. It's not, they couldn't do before.
I just feel like there were so many things in this world where it's like, oh, this is possible, okay, whatever, fine, who cares?
Yeah. But Glow, did you watch this with like kids? Because you always watch the kiddie movies on this podcast with kids.
I don't always, but no, I watched this by myself in my room
Oh.
because I had to watch it before we came here.
Do you think the kids who you normally show this to enjoyed it? Because like they found Wall-E kind of fairly boring and slow paced. So I'd imagine like how do you have this where like there's 2-minute scenes of just landscape or fish or whatever. Like.
Yeah, I think maybe Joe might have liked it, but
Karen's dead.
I don't know. My nephew Joe, but I'm not sure. Like the 2 smaller ones, the 7-year-olds would have just been bored at certain points and started talking or playing. I don't think this is, even though it's very innocent, I don't think it's a cartoon that like kids are like, Ponyo, put it on.
Ham.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
That was so annoying.
That was a fucking hilarious. That's your own fault for watching the dub.
All you had to do was ask me. I watched it in pristine quality in a subtitled version.
The quality was great, and even the dubbing wasn't that, like, it wasn't like when we've watched other stuff that Richard's suggested, and the like dubbing was shit. It was actually, it flowed pretty well, and it seemed to kind of, their lips seemed to move in time with what was being said. I was a bit distracted at first by Liam Neeson being that weird sea person.
Did Liam Neeson ever say I want my daughter back in the whole film? Because that's an obvious take
He's
in
only
fucking
done
television.
that 3 times.
I don't
Only 3.
think so. But would the dialogue then be that different, what we watched versus what ye watched?
Well, we see the thing with the dub Miyazaki's is like a lot of those scenes where there's just kind of silence and stuff going on. In the in the dub versions, they throw in things like I'm at the hillside, I'm at a bathhouse, I'm in a forest. You know, just
Okay,
kind
it was not
of
that
babysit.
plenty many scenes
Yeah.
where it was quite quiet.
And like
Yeah,
the Kiki.
the only thing that was sounding is maybe like, you know, if they were on the country road, you might hear the car engine or something.
The
like
biggest Miyazaki controversial dub is Kiki's Delivery Service. Has anyone seen that?
No.
It's
No.
fucking amazing. But like,
I don't watch any of this stuff unless
one of-
you make us.
it's one of the last ever things that Phil Hartman was in, and basically towards the end, Kiki's cat Phil Hartman voices it, and like Phil Hartman does an amazing job as he always does. But in the Jap version, the cat doesn't talk anymore because it's a sign that Kiki has grown up and she doesn't need the cat assisting her. But in the dub, the cat still talks at the end because it's fucking Phil Hartman. You're not going to tell him to stop talking.
I hate dubs. I think they've ruined the movies. The acting's always really bad, you know.
Yeah, dubs is like there can be good dubs, but I
Especially in a
usually
live
try not
action
to.
version because then it never matches.
Well, there's no excuse for live action dubs. No excuse.
Nah.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, no, a cartoon is different.
But it's still not though at the same time.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd say it's different, but it kind of isn't because anime has such a long history with terrible dubs.
Yeah, it wasn't until Cowboy Bebop that was a good one. So, Ponyo boys, final thoughts.
It was okay.
I liked to look at it. It was quite a nice film. I'm glad I watched it, but I'm probably never going to watch it again.
Yeah, I second that. It was nice, but a bit weird, and I couldn't see myself being like, oh yeah, do you know what I'll watch now that I have an hour and a half free? Ponyo. It's not going to happen.
I fucking loved it. I thought it was savage.
Why do you like it so much?
Because it's just so fucking cute and amazing looking.
Okay.
Anyway.
90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes is full of shite. Anyway, lads, the next movie is Tropic Thunder.
I'm gonna get a drink.
Okay. Oh, can you fetch me a can out the fridge?
And we need to
Sound
get me
fan.
a bottle of cider.
Okay, well I'm gonna go to the bathroom as well.
Anyway, the next movie on this list is Tropic Thunder. That was written by Louis Theroux's cousin and Ben Stiller, and directed by Ben Stiller. And the budget was 92 million, and it made back about double that. Like, I'm looking at this and it's just a little bit more than double. And this movie was picked by Gloria. Tell us about it.
Okay, so this movie is basically a parody of a selection of war films and action movies, and they just take the absolute piss out of them all. I actually picked this film because I thought that's one film out of the 4 that we picked that my boyfriend would watch with me. Then these bastards decided we'd watch it all together.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Well, I originally wanted to watch Ponyo together, but the 2 boys wanted to watch it on their own for some reason.
I think I wanted to watch Mamma Mia because it would make it easier.
the movie wasn't as good as I remembered it being, but it was funny. I did watch it like years ago, and I did think it was very funny, but I don't know, I think we kind of talked through some of it, and it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
It's fairly solid. I think the reason why we spoke through a lot of it is because I just think a lot of the lines, they're badly fucking put out. Like, you can't really hear what they're saying a lot of the times, either because they're like Robert Downey Jr., who's brilliant in it. Sometimes he kind of does the whole black voice a little bit too gruff, where it's kind of hard to understand him. And like, I don't know, a lot of the movies just feel like the lines have felt like they're put in post or re-recorded for that, which is a shame because there's some really good quotable things, like when Jack Black is tied to the tree and he goes on about like sucking the juice out of the black lad's sack. That was fucking brilliant. Like,
It's not that funny. There's a long period in the middle that goes by without anything funny happening.
what bit? You want about?
I think.
I kind of agree with Fitzy. Like, there's parts that are funny, but then there's a lot of kind of stage where just
Like,
not
I think the
nothing
best part is
interesting happening.
I think the best part is the opening like half hour.
Actually, yeah, I was just going to say, do you know all the little kind of clips that look like they're meant to be trailers for
Those are amazing.
They're done really well, and they are quite funny. And then there's a couple of bits like when Robert Downey Jr. goes, "You people? What do you mean by you people?" Like he's dressed
Because
up
Robert
like
Downey Jr. is in blackface.
yeah, and he says to Ben Stiller, "What do you mean by you people?" And then the actual black guy is like, "What do you mean by you people?" And it's just brilliant.
That was very bold for Robert Downey Jr. because this kind of came out just when he was going through his renaissance and making a comeback. And if this was written, like, it goes to show like the joke is good, that he is a Daniel Day-Lewis-esque actor who takes himself so seriously he literally changes skin to black. Because this could have easily gone so wrong.
I
when
don't
you have
think
sort of Roman running around the backface. It's good they
I
did
don't
it
think you
tastefully.
get away with
and
it today. I don't think if
No, I think
it
you
happened
would.
today. I don't know.
Honestly, no, because it's done well.
Finish
Like, it's
it.
done like they're making him look like a fucking gobshite. It's just done at that perfect tuning.
Can
I
you
think.
even
like.
do a blackface ironically these days?
But it's not even ironically. It's just kind of like taking like Russell Crowe or any of these actors who take themselves so goddamn fucking seriously or commit to an acting where it nearly kills them, like Daniel Day-Lewis wearing all those clothes during wintertime for Gangs of New York and stuff like.
But Gloria's right, the best part of the trailers. Those are spot on, especially Simple Jack. Which, oh my god, that was so cathartic. There's something I've noticed about movies, just maybe not so much anymore, but for definitely for a good few years, is that soundtracks always ripped off the famous bit from Shawshank Redemption. I swear to God, you would hear it all the time, and this movie does it like pitch perfect. It has got a pitch perfect Shawshank Redemption rip-off theme in it.
Oh yeah, the Shawshank Temp music where it's really heartwarming. It's fucking brilliant. The whole Simple Jack thing as well is just so fucking funny.
Yeah, absolutely 100%.
That's just stands in
But
its
that's
own.
like the best part, and I don't think it ever reaches that heights again. The best parts of the movie are where they parody movie tropes, Hollywood tropes. And I think everything in between that is a bit meh.
I think it fucking stands. Like, there's some good fucking stuff in that.
It's
I like the whole ensemble cast. Like, it took them a while for me to like him, but like, I like when they're going through the jungle. Toothless, he's the straight man, which like you expect him to be the wimp that's bitched around. I like the fact like he's actually the most level-headed of all these fucking gobshites.
like it's a good movie, but I think you kind of need to watch it with friends or in a group. I don't think you'll like. I don't know. Before when I've watched, I think it just depends on the atmosphere. Before when I've watched it, there's been a couple of bits I did lol at, but I don't know.
Yeah,
it
did we
just
laugh? This is the question.
we laughed at you guys laughed
laughed
at definitely laughed at the bit where it said you never go full retard.
Well, that's like
I
throw.
didn't laugh.
That is actually like a part of every.
But you said you
language
didn't
now.
recognise that's actually where that
Yeah,
came
but that's
from.
become a famous internet like saying or something.
It's become an everyday fucking saying. You never go full retard. Like.
But this is the thing I always say to people when they tell me they liked, like, I don't know, The Big Bang Theory or anything like that.
Oh,
It's
bazinga.
like, did you laugh? Do you laugh when you watch these shows? Like, if you laugh, it's fine. But we were watching this movie and I don't remember a burst of laughter from any of us.
Well, when the kid gets thrown off the bridge,
Like,
it's
the
fucking
trailers
I
were
laughed
good.
at the
They were
people.
amusing, but I didn't laugh.
funny. You don't have to fucking guffaw like a
Yeah,
full
you don't
retard.
have,
What
but
else is
to
there
enjoy
in
a comedy,
But
like-
what else is there
like,
in
what-
a comedy? A comedy is there to make you laugh.
Yes, but it can also just kind of make you like watch it and you're there smiling to yourself like.
Well, then surely it's a merely okay comedy and not.
No, because like, what about an episode of King of the Hill? There's very few like
I
slap
don't
your
like
knee.
King of the Hill.
Oh my god, what's wrong with you,
but
man?
like there's lots of clever humor in it. That's you kind of you think about the movies you watched and stuff like that. But you're right. There's no like moments where I was like, oh my god, my side hurts from laughing.
But that's like the only requirement of a comedy movie. It's like a horror movie and not being scared. It's like the only thing it has to do.
But what about a dry comedy movie though? Like I'm not saying this is far from a dry comedy. It does have a little bit of dry humor, but like a movie that has a dry tone. Like say I don't know, Annie Hall's the first thing that comes to my head, even though I don't think it's particularly great.
Well, I mean, maybe I'm the wrong person to ask for this because I don't typically find scripted comedy that funny. But
Yeah, no, even when we were picking the films, we were like, I wonder how Fix is going to take it. He's got 3 comedies to deal with.
And it's like we looked at the cast like, oh, Jack Black, oh, Ben Stiller, oh, because like they have done some weak things in the past, but this movie.
all that was missing was Will Ferrell.
But this movie, I think this movie plays
Yeah.
to their strengths though. Like
Um,
Danny McBride as well. Like Tom Cruise
yeah,
fucking
Tom
stole
Cruise
every
is
scene he was
brilliant
in.
in it. Like he really is. I think he kind of just stole the show.
Steve Coogan's good as the sort of Richard Stanley kind of figure. Who,
He's only in it for like 5 minutes.
yeah, but he's
But Steve Coogan's always good though. In fairness, like he just has
Yeah.
something about him. Like I liked all the kind of fucking pure like jabs at crank rap, which were huge at the time. Like your man's fucking drink, booty sweat, and all this shit.
Can't
Like,
say about a bad word about all that stuff.
Yeah.
It is absolutely, it hits the nail on the
like
head.
it is a really fucking good timepiece for all the parodies it has. Like
Mm.
if you're even
Oh,
for
and the fucking Eddie Murphy. Fucking
yeah, the whole Medea Eddie Murphy fucking
yeah,
shit. Like
Medea. Oh,
yeah.
God.
That was perfect,
I
like.
hated that
And they
shit
get
so
Jack Black to
much.
do it, and it actually
Yes.
pays to his strengths.
Wow, that must have. I can only imagine if I'd seen it at the time how cathartic it would be, because I remember those Medea movies were everywhere in 2008.
Oh, they were fucking toxic. Like, come on, you have to say this is a fucking funnier than a Medea movie, and I know that's not much. ISIS beheadings are funnier than Medea's, like, but come on.
Did you just say that?
Yes, I did. I'll say it again.
I would sooner watch an
Please
ISIS
don't.
beheading video because at least they're short.
Oh my god!
At least you might get a good porn ad in the fucking bottom of the video for it.
I don't know. Can we return them?
Jesus Christ, lads! I thought Aidan and Alan were bad. That's just. At least they're shorter.
Well, come on, the pain is over fucking fast.
I don't
Would you
think-
rather die from fucking horrible comedy or
I
die
don't-
from getting your head going?
You don't
I
think
don't
Tropic
take that
Thunder
back.
is on horrible?
No, we're talking about Medea now.
Mm.
Sorry.
Medea, God.
Yeah, we've really gotten off topic, you know.
Yeah. Well, like, there's so many references and fucking things you have. Like, how can you not go off topic?
The music was so the 2000s. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the cranked bits were. I loved the way they used
She
fucking
hit the floor.
Fortunate Son for.
Low. Oh, but that song was everywhere.
Yeah,
Like
everywhere.
you couldn't avoid it.
This just triggers me. Anything about music from the mid 2000s.
Hey, Fitz,
AKA the worst period.
you don't like your emo fucking gems. You don't like your fucking really bland razor rock Coldplay soft rock music.
50 Cent.
50 Cent proto mumble rap. What a man. So Tropic
He's
Thunder,
not gonna
lads.
leave this.
Yeah.
Did we like Tropic Thunder?
It was okay.
Meh.
Yeah, I agree. It was grand, but never gonna watch it again either.
I think I liked it more than you, lads. Lads
I
are being
will-
very fucking pessimistic.
I will watch it again because Aidan likes it, and I probably will laugh with him at certain jokes. But like, it's not something
No.
I'd pick to watch by myself.
So, lads and ladies, here is the last movie of the night. It is The Dark Knight, also known as the Batman movie without the plane scene. And this film was directed by Bravo Nolan. Everyone clap for Christopher Nolan. Bravo Nolan! Clap for Christopher Nolan! Bravo Nolan! Bravo! Bravo Nolan! And this movie cost, oh my fucking god.
Shit.
The budget cost even more than what Tropic Thunder made. And that like was considered a okay, it cost 185 million.
How much did it make?
Literally made a fucking billion. A billion! How would you make a billion with fucking cameras and a lad dressed up as Batman?
Well,
it would have to-
Batman. It's Batman for a start.
Okay, so the fuck.
biggest
Why do you think
intellectual
they've
IP
made
that's out there.
so many superhero movies? Because they fucking make money.
But like, I thought it was the franchise, not the film that makes it. Like
Well,
people
yeah.
buy Batman pajamas and action figures and stuff, but
That's not necessarily true. There's been Batman movies that didn't lose money but didn't do well.
but a billion. A billion
Do
with
you know
a
what?
B.
The billion was brought in by Heath Ledger.
The
being
billion.
the best Joker that has ever been.
He has. Like, this movie is great, and I don't want to take anything away from it, but it started a lot of shite. And it's not the film's fault. I don't blame the film for that.
Well, maybe
It did. It started dark and gritty.
Was Iron Man... But the
It
grim
started
dark,
what?
It started grim dark fucking DC shart.
But the grim dark thing didn't last though.
It only
If
died
any-
like a year ago.
If anything, The Dark Knight was the last of the grim dark sort
What?
of movies.
Have you seen Batman v Superman?
Think about it, right? Dark Knight comes out in 2008.
Yeah.
2010, we've got the Avengers, which is nothing but brightly lit, loads of special effects. It's set in the daytime, loads of nerdgasm shots and things like that. It looks completely different to the Dark
That's
Knight.
Marvel. Marvel is its own beast.
Marvel changed the game.
Yeah, they
That's
did.
what I'm saying. The Dark Knight was the last of the grim dark stuff, the mid 2000s grim
It
dark
kind
stuff.
it started fucking Man of Steel. Like, it started a lot of things this decade for DC. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, all that shart.
But those movies aren't. They aren't really that successful. People don't like them.
Well, Batman
And you
v
can
Man of
tell.
Steel still made a more than
But
money.
you can tell that Marvel or DC is trying to get away from them.
Yeah.
Because they reshot a shit for the Justice League. Like, the Justice League that we know looks completely different to the Justice League that was.
They were trying to do damage control
So-
since Suicide Squad because they realised how fucking
They
heinous it
realised
was.
the
Yeah.
mid-2000s grimdark stuff isn't working anymore. That's
But you
what I'm
see,
saying.
the problem is this isn't even that grim dark. It is grim and dark, but it's not fucking like.
It's not as grimdark as Batman Begins.
Yeah, no, not even Batman the Grins. I'm talking about like fucking Man of Steel, where Superman
That's not
looks
grim
fucking miserable the whole time. The colours are muted. Nobody smiles or anything like.
Yeah, but those movies, okay, maybe this is stupid. They made money, but they weren't successful. And I know
Someone definitely smiles in this movie.
we know they weren't successful.
Yeah, I'm
because
not saying this is a bad film at all. Yeah.
DC kept changing the formula film by film. Like,
Like-
they kept experimenting. If Man of Steel had been, a critical hit and whatever else, they would have kept with the same aesthetic, but they didn't.
But they didn't. Yeah, they didn't because they realised people were copping on around then. That's why they started damage control with Suicide Squad. But it did have an effect.
But I'm not saying The Dark Knight isn't the last of the grimdark stuff. It's the last time it was successful. Maybe I should have phrased it that way.
Okay, yeah, but it did kind of start it at the same time.
No, it was started
And it didn't
earlier.
even mean to start it,
It
like...
started earlier. The Dark Knight is basically like the end of it, right?
What was before it, though?
It would have started at like 2003, 2004. Okay, this is a video game reference, but you remember like the Wind Waker?
Yeah.
And nobody liked the Wind
And that's
Waker
very different to the
because
Dark
it's
Knight.
for kids and whatever else. And then, you know,
Oh, Try Hard Princess, yeah.
Twilight Princess comes out and it's, you know, it's dark and gritty.
That was a pure response to like the backlash of Thing at the time, though. Wind
But to
Waker.
me, it starts around like 2004 and ends around.
But the Earth's
2008.
example is bad because that's a specific response to the backlash of
Any
a
idea?
previous incarnation
It's-
that was cute and cuddly.
No, it's a part of a larger movement.
No, it's because at the time people hated Wind Waker for being cute.
No,
It's not a response. It wasn't really following what was
you're missing
trendy at the
point.
time.
That's a part of the whole grimdark thing. It's not the cause of it. I'm just saying it's a part of a larger issue.
I don't know. Try Hard
for
Princess
some
just seems
for
very
some
specific.
reason-
So are you saying that you don't like this, Richard?
No,
because
I'm not
it
saying I don't
started
like
a whole
it.
load of shit of the grim, dark, whatever.
But
you're
it
talking
also
about.
kind of started a lot of pretentious wank talk.
It didn't start it. It ended it.
It did. It did. It started like
No,
Nolan. Okay, this is
It
a Nolan thing. I'll
started
say
years earlier.
this is a Nolan problem. Nolan, where he just talks and talks and talks and talks. He thinks he's savage. Look at Interstellar. Oh, he talks so much. That's so savage. Inception. Oh, he talks a lot. That's so
But
savage.
the Inception isn't grimdark.
No, I'm talking about
The
the
talk-
over
talking
talking
now.
thing now.
Okay, were you on a different topic?
Yeah, I said
Yeah.
the over talkies.
Okay, fair enough.
And Heath Ledger's Joker, who is like legit one of the best fucking performances in the world, it kind of has the Tyler Durden problem where like fucking 14-year-olds see that he's like, oh, he's so cool, man. I want to be like him. I want a relationship like Harley Quinzel, man.
I like Christopher Nolan. I don't love him. I think he's got some amazing ideas, and I think he's an amazing visionary. He's not, and I really like the way he directs some of his scenes. I fucking love the way he directs action scenes. He's not an actor's director, and he's not an especially good writer.
Well, the action scenes were actually a top notch up from Batman Begins, because they were terrible in Batman Begins, but they're a top notch in this.
The hand-to-hand combat scenes are terrible in Batman Begins, but the car chase in Batman Begins is fucking amazing.
It's grand.
But it's taken to a whole new height in the Dark Knight, with the long, wide angles, with the Panasonic format where he doesn't cut, and so you see everything. Like you see the truck overturn and he doesn't cut once.
Yeah, that shit is
Basically what I'm
really
saying
fucking
is
cool.
He doesn't milk his action scenes like, I don't know, a Michael Bay was, with a million different fucking cuts and slow motion to draw it out as long as possible. He picks like the
It's
best shot.
almost like it's going in real time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this film. I enjoyed it since I watched it the first time a good few years ago. It's just there's so much going on in this film, but it's still very gripping. You know why sometimes there's movies and there's really too much going on, you just can't follow it?
Yeah.
But this kind of keeps you interested, it keeps you going, it keeps you
It's my favourite Batman movie.
Yeah.
One of the best, but not my best.
What's the best?
I think my best Batman film might be Tim Burton.
The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Or Lego Batman. That might be my second.
I mean, I
favorite.
really like it, but the first Tim Burton Batman film, but it's just
It's
it's
nostalgia.
kind of got no themes and it's really slow paced.
It is slow paced and really goofy, but like you just
Yeah.
can't take that away from me.
whereas this, reincarnation of Batman is definitely not slow paced. I mean,
It is and it isn't.
Yeah.
Like again, the talking scenes, which Nolan has a fucking hard on for.
Nolan is not good at dialogue and he's not
No.
good at directing actors.
Well, I wouldn't say he's bad at directing. The actors do very good in this.
Oh,
I
I
think
don't
the
know about
actings are
that.
very good in this.
Do you really think so?
Yes, Gary Oldman fucking kills it. Like he has a great cast. Like Heath Ledger, which took everyone by fucking surprise.
Okay, well, the Heath Ledger thing is
Yeah.
on another level.
The
But can
only
you-
problem
can-
is Batman. He's
but
the
you-
only problem.
Can you think of a Nolan film that has that good a performance?
Inception. I
Batman
gave a shite,
doesn't
but
need to
Inception
be a
has
great
good
actor.
acting. Well,
Batman
no,
literally
no,
just
Gloria,
kind of turns
what?
up and goes, "I'm Batman."
No, Gloria, what is wrong with you? Bruce Wayne is a fucking character, and he is an okay Bruce Wayne. And I love
Fine,
Christian
yeah.
Bale with all my heart, but he is an okay Bruce Wayne, and he's a shite Batman.
I think he's a fine, grand, whatever Batman. He's a fine, grand, whatever Bruce Wayne. He's definitely not the best part of the
Personally,
movie.
in all the Batman movies, even since I was a kid, and I watched the really shitty, one where it goes,
Hey,
bang,
that's not
bang.
shitty, Lo.
Well, whatever.
Take that back.
I always just kind of thought that there was more interesting characters than actual Batman.
But there was...
The Joker's more interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, the villains are
What's
great.
his face is more interesting.
You were
the
far
Butler,
from the first person to say
like,
that, Gloria.
Batman's not that great. He's just
Bruce
kind
Wayne
of
is
something
great.
for them to... He's just a figurehead.
Like a Grace...
It's like the president or the queen. He's just
These
a
are
figurehead.
these are two great Bruce Wayne movies. Batman Mask of the Phantasm
Yeah.
and Lego Batman. Those are two great Bruce Wayne movies.
Well, Mask of the Phantasm is really good.
That's a Bruce Wayne movie and
That's
it's fucking
my
fantastic.
second favourite Batman film.
Yeah, I love that one, yeah.
I love the cinematography in this movie. I think it looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, it is shot
But I
amazing.
hate the art direction.
One thing you have to say about Dark Knight is, which I admire the film for, is it kind of fucks over the 3-act structure, which is... Like, at first you don't know where it's going, and then it introduces Two-Face, and that should be a fucking deal breaker, but it actually works really well. And I just thought that was fucking cool.
Does it?
Yeah.
In what way does it not have a 3-act structure?
Well, like, because it starts off, there's a middle part, catches the Joker, bravo.
Yeah, no, there's
It
only...
sounds like a 3-act structure.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
but
then...
you have a new villain added in.
Yes, after Harvey Dent's in the hospital to go visit him, Batman deals with Rachel being
But that
blown
was
up,
set up
who
in the
is
other
played...
acts.
Oh, do you know why Heath Ledger actually won the Oscar posthumously?
Just because the Harvey Dent becomes Two-Face doesn't mean it doesn't have a
Because it
an
becomes its
act-based
own thing.
structure.
It breaks...
I get where Richard's saying it's not that it doesn't have a 3-act structure, it's just that where you thought at several stages where you thought this movie was going to end,
It keeps going.
it kept going. It's like, they've caught the Joker, he's in prison, that should be it. No, there's now 2 boats. And a boat.
Also, lads, do you know why Heath Ledger actually posthumously won the Best Oscar Supporting Oscar role? It's because he went into a room with Maggie Gyllenhaal and actually said with a straight face, "Hello, beautiful." But I showed you...
Alright, so final thoughts on this
So,
Batman.
Karen's taking charge now.
Heath Ledger is a legend. This is my favourite Batman movie. I first went to see it on my first date with a boy that I now obviously have no interest in. But
Aww.
yeah, brings back memories.
And Richard, you said you saw it on a date as well.
I did, yeah. I seen
We
it
were
on a
obviously in that
diet.
age.
I saw this 3 times in cinemas. Once with mates. Well, no.
You didn't watch it. You said I watched it on my first date. You said you just spent the whole time shifting.
Yeah, but I seen it already, you know. And then I seen it the 3rd time, and after that was the first time I ever drank alcohol. No, 2nd time I ever drank alcohol. Oh, yeah, I seen it 3 times in
So you
cinemas.
have a lot of
Connections
teenage
to the dark.
memories around this.
Yeah, it's a very much a boomer teenage movie, buddy.
It's a great film, even though it's not my favourite version of Batman. It totally holds up. It's well worth watching again. I think some of the dialogue is a bit, crap.
I agree with everything Fitzy said, honestly. So, let's. Those are the 4 movies now that we picked for the 3rd part of 2008. And let's go around, this time starting with Fitzy. What was your favourite and least favourite movie of this episode?
Okay, well, Dark Knight's obviously my favourite.
Mhm.
Between Tropic Thunder, Mamma Mia, and Ponyo. I guess Mamma Mia.
Karen.
Favourite Batman, least favourite Tropic Thunder.
Gloria.
My favourite was either... I can't pick between 2. So my favourite was either Mamma Mia or The Dark Knight. And then my least favourite was Ponyo, maybe. But just because Tropic Thunder reminds me of Aiden.
Surprised Ponyo wasn't your least favourite.
But does Ponyo not remind you of me?
Ponyo, looks cute. I like Ponyo just because of the fact, I recognise that it does look very good.
Yeah, it's pretty and it's cute.
Yeah. So it was a bit of a toss up, but
Okay.
Tropic Thunder lost. Minusculely,
So, my favourite movie of this section was Ponyo by The Anime Was a Mistake Man. And my least favourite was Diarrhea. Here I go again, just because ABBA are okay. Anyway, boys, that was one episode of the Decade Old Podcast.
That was a really enjoyable experience. You should host it from now on.
I should host from now on. The Decade Old Podcast. All about butt plugs and pocket rockets. So, that's a goodbye from me, Ricky Travers. A goodbye from...